welcome back. Welcome back to episode 9, Talk How We Talk Sports Talk. This episode is going to be presented to y'all by two Louisiana boys. You know what I'm saying? Man, today we're going to be talking about baseball, the Houston Astros. Going to be talking about the World Classic game, and we're going to be getting into a little bit of some steroid talk as well, man. How some of the legends, you know what I'm saying, kind of getting blackballed out of the Hall of Fame right now due to some of that, steroid usage and stuff. So that's what we're going to be getting into today, man. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. I'm one of the hosts, David O. I'm here today with my co-host /
D.
producer,
Broussard.
D. Broussard. You know what I'm
D.
saying?
Broussard,
He in
yes,
the
sir.
building. Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
We got our analyst that's gonna be coming on in a little while too. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
To update us on some stuff too, man. But look,
Mm-hmm.
like and subscribe to the channel. Definitely we appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in once again. And then I'm gonna let D take it over. You know what I'm saying? And let him do his thing and tell us what we got going on.
Yeah, man. Like always, we're gonna dive into the segment. What you think? Now, what you think is a segment where we bring up different topics and we give you guys our perspective of what we think of those topics. And the first topic is um the Houston Astros. What you think about the Houston Astros, D?
And last season we missed the postseason last season after being in there, a lot for the last couple of years, So I'm definitely looking forward to them getting back to, baseball glory.
Mm-hmm.
Not too many major moves yet in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
We lost two of our pitchers that, was an important aspect of our roster and that lineup there. We lost excuse me if I'm pronouncing these fellas' names wrong, but the first one we lost was Bear Valdez.
Yeah, Valdez. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
man. We
The
lost
pitcher.
him to the Detroit Tigers, man.
Mm-hmm.
$115 million move.
Mm-hmm.
And we also lost our other veteran that,
Mm.
it looked like he keep coming and leaving and stuff, but that was Verlander. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and what's crazy is that we lost him to the Detroit Tigers too. So it was
Wow.
like, bro, we done lost two of our pitchers to the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah.
But they also, they signed some people to kind of replace them a little bit. I was kind of looking at some of the information before the show started.
Mm-hmm.
They did sign some people, nothing really major. So no major moves this offseason besides, we lost two of our key players. And,
Right.
I'm looking for some of our key players that we still have to kind of,
Mm-hmm.
get back on track with it. You know what I'm saying? Like El Tuve,
Right.
Alvarez, some of those guys that was part of our, championship team. I'm looking for those guys really to step up this season and give us some of the, some of the spark that we need
Mm-hmm.
to get us back into baseball glory, man. Just some of the recent headlines we got Jake Myers. He's staying in Houston. He's looking to be the starting center fielder, despite ongoing questions about this spring. You know what I'm saying? So we looking for him
So
to
we
stay
looking
with
for
the
him to
team
stay
right
with the
now,
team right now.
and then
Mm-hmm.
also
And then also
Alvarez.
Alvarez,
He's the big
he's
slugger.
the big
He's our
slugger.
big bat. He declared that he's
He
fully
declared
healthy
that he's fully
and
healthy. Mm-hmm.
he's ready
And
to go.
he's ready to go.
So hopefully, like I say, we
So
can get
hopefully,
him
like I say, we can get him
on on
on
track and
on
after
track and
being kind of injured for
after
the
being kind of
2025
injured for the
season.
2025 season.
You
Right,
know,
right, right.
yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
kind of what I got
So
with
that's
the
kind of
Houston
what I got with
Astros
the
right now.
Houston
Like I say,
Astros
not
right
too
now.
many major
Like I say,
moves
not too many major
this
moves
off season.
this off season. Okay, okay. Uh, yeah, man. So I guess we can go ahead and bring on our baseball analyst, man, and kind of see what he think, what he got going on, and see what he think, man. So everybody, welcome our baseball analyst coming back, Mr. Aaron Andrews for another episode, man. We
Sir, yes,
appreciate
sir,
you, man.
sir.
Appreciate
Yeah.
y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. What you thinking, man? What you thinking about the Houston Astros, man?
Um, I was kind of uh thrown off when they traded Verlander, man. He's actually
Yeah.
a really good starter and pitcher, and it just kind of threw me off that they kind of made that adjustment, and I want to see how y'all gonna I guess go what's the word adjust around that trade and
Right.
maybe like fulfill that hole, because I mean that's a big hole to fill.
Yeah, it is.
Because like I said, you can't really replace veteran experience like that.
Right, right.
And just the other guy that you mentioned, I know he's more of a reliever pitcher, I think.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he's like one of those guys you come in situational play. Most of
Uh-huh.
those guys are like kind of experienced guys.
I got you.
So it's just one of those
Yeah.
things where I think if y'all bring another experienced guy in, it could help.
Hmm.
But those guys are kind of really hard to replace.
I got you. Yeah, I feel the same way, man. I feel like those two guys, man. I kind of knew Valdez was kind of gonna be on his way out after he had that incident where he intentionally threw the ball at the catcher, and I think he might have hit him in the lower body or something like that last year. So I remember that going on. And I felt like that was kind of a bad look for him. As far as the team goes, that was like a huge topic that was talked about last season was, that incident with him, purposely throwing the ball at the pitcher. I think it was during I can't remember who they was playing, but I know that was a huge deal last season. So I kind of figured he was gonna be on his way out the door. Based off of that incident that kind of messed up like the I wouldn't say the team chemistry, but it definitely was like something that the team kind of looked at as was kind of like something
A disconnect.
yeah, like a disconnect. That's what I'm saying. So and then also, like I said, I agree with Do, man. Like it's not that many moves. I'm kind of looking to see what the Astros gonna do this season, man, because they lost a lot of important guys, that we had on that championship run. Like guy we talked about last episode, baseball episode, which is Alex Bregman. They lost a lot of guys, man, that on that championship team, man, that really played a major role, a major part. Also, Ryan Presley, who I think he was like the closer, he was a huge deal for that championship run. They lost him as well. So I'm just looking forward to seeing what the Astros gonna do, man, going into this season. And hopefully we, like Do say, hopefully we can get back to championship glory. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
The only other thing I'm gonna say about the Astros, was reading some stuff. I don't know what's going on with this. Maybe y'all can kind of touch on it a little bit, but are they having like some salary cap issues or something? Because I'm reading some stuff about like how they've been going through like arbitration and stuff with some of their players.
Mm-hmm.
Like I guess about their money and about their contract and stuff.
You got that, AO?
I was about to say, I think more so it's a sense that they have a lot of expensive players,
Mm-hmm.
and
True.
that possibly could be taking up the most of the cap.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of have to let go players to free up more of the
Cap
money.
space. Mm-hmm.
And that's
Absolutely.
kind of what my perspective is on that.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I mean it's the same thing, man. I just think they trying to kind of like make some room, create some cap space. And then also, if I'm recalling correctly, I think the collective bargain agreement with the MLB is coming up soon. And it's also been some talks about there possibly being a lockout as well, and normally, when it's a lockout, that's kind of like when the players and the organization like the MLB or something like that, they can't really come to agreements and stuff like that. So I think that's gonna probably come into play here pretty soon. So I think, with the salary cap and things like that, I think a lot of these teams are kind of looking for more wiggle room on that salary cap so they can sign, better players, because better players, they're gonna want more money. We look at the Los Angeles Dodgers.
I mean, I was just about to say
Kyle
that.
Tucker, right, exactly. Signing Kyle Tucker, man. I mean, you look at that salary cap and the salaries they have on board, for this season, man. I mean, it's a lot of money, man.
True.
So, yeah.
And it's like between the Dodgers and the Mets. How we kind of talked about last episode. It's like both of them added lots of pieces to the team to try to compete. So I mean, is there really anybody left out there that the Astros could pick up to add?
Right. Yeah. I mean, at this point, man, I think they've added everybody they can add.
Yeah.
At this point, man. I did see they signed, they made a few moves. They signed a couple guys. So I think at this point, man, I think they signed the guys that they can add and which they can afford to stay under that within that salary cap as well. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say I'm kind of looking forward to seeing, what they're gonna do this season with the talent that they have, because they lost a lot of veteran players that was a part of, that huge run that they had, winning the championship. I mean, winning the World Series. And last season I think was kind of like, I'm not gonna say mediocrity, but I mean, I felt like it wasn't as dominant for the Astros last season, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they got, man. And that's about it.
We're gonna see.
Yeah. And you got some information for us, man. What you got, man?
We were doing a little research on the World Baseball Classic. So the games is coming up. They got the U.S. versus Brazil. So Aaron Judge, Bryce Harper, Paul Stees, Terrence Scuba, they all gonna be playing in. And then for Brazil, we got Joseph Contreras, the catcher. And for the what the team is? I just thought about it. But basically, they're gonna be playing in the World Baseball Classic. And then another game I was looking at was Puerto Rico against Colombia. So Edwin Diaz gonna be playing in there. Helios Ramirez. He's a left fielder. Some top names. Just to kind of put out there. It's gonna be kind of some really good games coming up. So I just kind of want to see how that's gonna play out, man. So what y'all think?
And to be honest, I never even knew they did world baseball. Is that like the baseball Olympics or something?
Basically.
Yeah, basically.
All I knew was Major League. I never knew other countries play against other countries like that. So that's something new to me.
Yeah.
It's not really talked about though. I don't know why, but it should be, because these are like the best games. These are like the all-star teams.
Like all the top players,
and all the star players, they come together, on one team, and they compete.
Right. And really, I'm gonna be honest, like I feel like the World Baseball Classic is more competitive, than Major League Baseball. I ain't gonna lie, because I remember last year, I kind of watched a few games, and man, it was some like Japan and bro, it was like some real competitive baseball games in the World Baseball Classic. I ain't no front.
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, and it's basically got the same setup like the Olympics. It's sanctioned by the Major League Baseball, and it plays every 4 years with qualifiers in between.
Yeah,
and from 2006 to 2023, Japan won 3 of them.
Japan, absolutely.
2006, 2009, and 2023. And then in 2013 was the Dominican Republic. And then 2017 was the United States.
Yeah.
And then 2 of those years, Puerto Rico was runner-up. So yeah, man, and like Japan, they always got, like, if you notice, like a lot of the players that come in the Major League Baseball come from Japan.
Facts. That's facts. That's facts.
So
yeah,
Japan always got a good,
always got
good players.
It's from Japan. Shohei Ohtani. So you know, yeah, man, Japan. Hey,
they have the most of any country.
Yeah.
Y'all about to say the reliever pitcher for the Dodgers that closed out the World Series.
Yeah,
He's from Japan. Yamamoto.
Yeah, Yamamoto. I remember him
That
from
dude,
the World Series, bro. That boy cold. Yeah. For real.
He a starting
man.
pitcher. He came in as a reliever and closed.
Yeah, that boy was throwing some rockets, boy.
What?
Ooh, that boy. Hey, he closed the World Series, bro. I was like, man, this little dude, and he didn't stop. Like, he was just, bro, he was throwing rockets, and they was trying to pull him out the game, and he was like, nah.
Let me keep throwing.
Let me get him. Yeah, let me get him. I was like, dang, bro, this little dude cold, man.
Yeah.
For real. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, so Japan definitely, they definitely been producing a lot of good, baseball prospects, man, coming out of Japan. So, the World Baseball Classic, man, is definitely gonna be a must watch, in my opinion. I'll be tuned in.
When did it start?
So it begins March 5th, but the game started on the weekend. So it started 6, 7, 8, and it just keep going.
Okay.
March 6th.
Yeah. Yeah. Another thing, man. A huge topic that I wanted to bring up with you guys, man, and I feel like it's something that's been talked about for many years. I kind of recall D.O. talking about the Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa. That run that they had, man, was so epic, so monumental. Just, man, I'm thinking back to them days, man. I kind of start getting chills because it was just like, it felt like the golden era of baseball. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And I just remember watching that, man, and just the excitement and everything like that, man. It was a beautiful moment in time, man, in baseball, man. So many good players, man. So, I kind of want to bring up this topic, man, and it's steroids in the MLB, man. It's a lot of guys, man, a lot of huge names that's, not in the Hall of Fame because of alleged steroid use. And I kind of just wanted to touch on it a little bit, man. D.O., I know, you talked about Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, that big home run competition that they had back in the days, man. I mean, yeah, for sure. How do you feel about steroids in the MLB and guys not being in the Hall of Fame, because of alleged steroids use?
Well, how I feel about the situation is, the key word that you just, mentioned, alleged. You know what I'm saying? Some of these guys was alleged to use it.
That's true.
And it was never like the test was never proven on some of them. Now, some of them did admit to using it. You know what I'm saying? But like, for instance, like Barry Bonds. Let's start with Barry Bonds, right? So Barry Bonds, he was a 7-time MVP, Major League Baseball all-time home run leader, right? He was linked to a steroid scandal, right? But never officially failed a Major League Baseball drug test.
Wow.
So you got a 7-time MVP, home run all-time leader, never officially failed the test, according to the report I'm looking at. but he's not in the Hall of Fame. He fell off the writers ballot in 2022 after 10 years, right? So they got two ways that you can get into the Hall of Fame. They got the writers ballot, those the people who like vote for you, and then they got another thing that I was reading, like a something like a commission, like an edit commission or something, or committee, something like that, right? So like if the writers don't put you in, then you got another chance through like the committee to try to get in, right? But it's kind of like you got to kind of wait or something. I was reading,
5
so
years.
I just feel like Barry Bonds, being that he never failed one, he should be in. But you got the writers and you got the people, opinion that's keeping this guy out of the Hall of Fame when he's one of the greats. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of like, and I know we on baseball, but I'm just bring up this NFL reference real quick, just like how they did Belichick. You know what I'm saying? You got the people who voted and putting their personal opinions in there instead of, giving these guys the opportunity to enter, the Hall of Fame in their prospective sport, just because how you feel about a situation when you're not letting their record or their stats, do the talking. So that's kind of how I feel when it comes to Barry Bonds. Now, Roger Clemens, right? This dude here, he didn't play for the Yankees, he didn't play for the Astros, a couple other teams, right? He's a 7-time Cy Young Award winner, right? 354 career wins, accused in the Mitchell report of steroid use. Denied allegations, later acquitted in federal court. Was acquitted in federal court. Not in the Hall of Fame. Again, due to writers having, personal feelings, personal opinions, right? Let's just keep going down the list while I got all this pulled up. Mark McGwire hit 70 home runs in 1998. Season record. That was kind of like around the time when him and Sammy Sosa was going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? I'm like loving it, right? Sammy Sosa was the guy I was pulling for because, he on my Cubs team. My brother liked the Cardinals. We kind of talked about that last time we talked about baseball. But look, this dude, now he admitted to steroid use. He admitted to it. So his situation, they got a reason to like not put him in, right? He admitted to it. But at the same time, like me and you was talking, just kind of off camera, D, it's like, even though the dude did do the steroids, he still had to go out there and perform. He still had to go and train. He still had to go to practice. The steroids just not going to make you all of a sudden just hit home runs like that. You still got to be able to focus on the ball when they pitching it. You still got to know how to hit it. You still got to go out there and perform, even with the steroids being used, right? So I feel like, I don't want to say like I'm condoning steroid use, but at the same time, it's like you still got to go out there and perform. The steroids not going to make you Superman. So that's how I feel about him. Now, whether he make it or not, I could care less, just because he admitted to it, right? But I still think that they should at least give him the proper consideration due to, him having the home run record in the season and, bringing excitement to baseball during that time, with Sammy Sosa. Now, Sammy Sosa, 609 career home runs, connected to performance enhancement drug rumors, right? In 2003, he failed the test, which was later reported. They didn't report it, I guess, during when, I guess they're trying to cover it up, but then later on it was reported that, he did fail a test. He never admitted to using steroids, but it was reported that he did fail a test, right? So kind of like the same situation with Mark McGwire. You know what I'm saying? Did a lot for the sport at that time. That was two of the biggest players in that era, right? Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, going at it. And again, you keeping these guys out because of the steroid use and because of personal opinions, but these guys still had to go out and perform.
Facts, yep.
They still had to go and practice, and they still had to even not just on offense. They still had to go out there and do defense too, in their perspective, in the positions that they played, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's like, you know what I'm saying. Think of it like coffee, right? You drink coffee. A lot of people say, "Man, coffee wake me up. Coffee wake me up." Man, coffee don't wake me up. I still be dragging. I still be, lollygagging around unless I get up and start moving. Coffee not gonna make me get up and start moving. Same thing with the steroids. It's not gonna make you just hit home runs. You still gotta go and perform, bro. So, Alex Rodriguez, 696 home runs. He admitted to steroid use, right? He got suspended for the entire 2014 season. Okay, y'all punished that man already. Y'all suspended him the whole 2014 season. So why is this man not in the Hall of Fame? He still had to go out there and perform. He sat out a whole season. Y'all suspended. So that's just kind of like the main names that I was seeing this reports on, and just kind of some of the, the things that was reported, admitted, reported, who didn't admit and who was only alleged. So I just feel like at the end of the day, man, give these guys a proper consideration based on, the accolades, and then make the decision from there. Don't just do it just because, steroids. Like, don't just focus mainly on that. Look at the overall picture, what they did for baseball, what they did for their teams at the time, and that they still had to go out there and perform. And that's how I feel about the steroid use.
Man, after that, I don't know what to say, because, man, you delivered that was like a speech, man, and that was beautiful, though, because a lot of the information you gave, some of that stuff, I ain't even know that. For real, man.
Man, look, man, you gotta, like I said, you gotta give these guys respect. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? And that's why I like to give. That's why when I come on the show and stuff, I like to have, reports and stats pulled up, because, the audience can kind of be like leaning one way too, like steroids. So, and some of them might not know the stats of some of these players and, what they did for their team in that era of baseball. So I like to kind of bring up the stats. That way you can see, man, all of these guys almost had like 700 home runs in career. Like, nobody else doing that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And these guys are legends, and they should be treated as such. Some of the biggest names in baseball that ever touched the bat. You know what I'm saying? And even, man, look, this is another one right here.
Manny Ramirez, yep.
Yeah, Manny, yeah.
Ramirez.
555 home runs. He was suspended twice for for performance enhancement drugs and stuff like that, And they voting him like, his voting stuff is low. Like, they're not giving him the votes that he needs to get into Baseball Hall of Fame, because of the violations and stuff. But he was suspended twice. So, like, if you're gonna punish these guys, it's like going to jail, right? You do a crime, you go to jail. When you get out of jail, someone, like, you can't vote. Like, you can't vote if, depending on what type of charge it was. True. It makes it harder for you to get jobs and stuff. So what's the point of having these guys go rehabilitate in jail? Or what's the point of suspending these guys to show them and make them learn their lesson, when they serve their time or when they serve their punishment, they still gonna get punished? And I don't like that. It's like, I done did what I had to do. I done paid my debt to society. I done paid my debt to the game, to the sport. Let me get me.
True. Yeah. And then let alone how hard it is. Literally one of the hardest things to do is hit a baseball. And the fact that these guys doing this at a high level, and they try to use steroids as it being like an enhancement, or just, and like you said, some of the guys, it was alleged. It's not even proven. And like you said, if they did prove it, they served a suspension. And like you said, I don't agree with them getting blackballed out of the Hall of Fame because of them doing what they're doing after, like you said, doing the PDE, and then on top of that, serving their time and whatever it is, suspension, or even doing the drug screens and failing them. And then, like you said, was it Roger Clemens went to court and then he beat it.
Yep.
So it's like, why are y'all still holding this over these guys' head, along with it being the hardest task to hit a baseball? It ain't
Yep.
like it's just easy, like you said, like sports and like steroids or PDEs. That's not even gonna help you. You could still be garbage. Like, it's just the fact that these guys are performing at a high level, and then they're using this along with the time period that it takes for you to be eligible to even be in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
They prolong that too, to where
Yep.
now you can't even get in, even if you wanted to. So it's like, I'm just agreeing with what you're saying, but just on top of that, they knew what they were doing with these guys individually, because it's like, okay, you're blackballing them, and then every time they get the eligibility to try to get in, you cut them for maybe not having enough votes, or just like you
Yep.
said, personal feelings. Like, I don't get that. Like, it just bothers me. And like I said, I was in the era watching Barry Bonds doing home run derbies, and in the whole era of him, when nobody wanted to throw at him. Like, it was to the point where these guys were literally just
No,
that
for real.
good.
That's
And
He
fact.
they
would
was
he
just
would
like
step up to the plate, and they was just doing
They was
like,
scared.
walking him.
Oh,
yeah,
They were
walking the
walking this
dude.
man
Yeah.
after almost every at bats. And then when you did throw at him, he hit home runs. So it just shows that they're blackballing these guys, along with the fact that these guys still had the individual talent. Is off of personal preference. And it just bothers me, because these are legends. These aren't just
Yeah.
regular play. Like you said, all the stats you're naming, like 500 home runs, like all this, man, that's crazy. Like, how do you not award them at the end of the day, after, like I said, certain specific players serving their suspensions, like Alex Rodriguez, and watching him when he played for the Yankees? Like, come on,
Yeah.
man. Like, and they,
And
like
like
I
I say,
said,
man, like that's how they, like, during those eras and what they did for the team and for the sport. Like, I feel like this Major League Baseball, the committee, whoever's in charge of this, they need to step in and do something about it. Because I said like this, y'all wasn't complaining when people was tuning into baseball.
bringing the
Y'all
funds
wasn't
to the
complaining
sport.
when them ticket sales was up. Y'all
Yeah,
wasn't complaining when
selling
they
out
had the
arenas.
top selling jerseys. Y'all wasn't complaining when the money was coming in. But now that these guys is no longer playing and these guys ain't bringing in the money, now y'all trying to keep them out of the Hall of Fame when they done generated y'all hundreds and no telling how many hundreds of millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars.
fact.
What?
That's fact. How you looking, Dio? You still
I'm
looking
good.
good?
I'm
All
good.
right. Yeah. Man. Hey, bro, this stuff y'all saying, this is powerful, man. Look, I kind of feel the same way you feel, Dio. It's like, I think it has to be kind of. I'm trying to think of how I could articulate it, but Major League Baseball has to also be looked at to be responsible. Because my thing is, if these guys were, indulging in steroids all this time, and you still was allowing these guys to play and, you know, uh, generate all these fans, sell out all these arenas, and like you said, make all this money and stuff like that. And now, because the report came out, I remember it was like this big old report. I forgot what was the report you mentioned? What was it called?
The Mitchell is
Yeah, the Mitchell report. I
the
remember that.
Mitchell report.
Yeah, the Mitchell report came out, and then it was kind of like exposing all these different players, but these players weren't exposed by the MLB. They were exposed by the Mitchell report. So the thing is, you have to think like, okay, had the Mitchell report never came out, would this even be a conversation? You see what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
my thing is, the MLB let these guys play all this time, without suspending them or nothing like that. And like you said, they made all this money, because I know they made tons of money off of, the Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa.
Oh yeah.
Because they was talking about it every day.
Every day. Every
day.
every game they was battling. Oh, McGwire hit how many home runs? Sammy Sosa come back hit. McGwire got the record. Sosa got the record. Back and forth, back and forth. They was eating it up. They was eating it up.
Absolutely. And then it's kind of like, you know, with Barry Bonds, man, when I listen to a lot of former players talk about Barry Bonds, man, they describe Barry Bonds as the Michael Jordan of baseball. Like, he was the greatest to ever touch a bat, to ever play the game of baseball.
Bro, he's the home run leader.
Yeah. And he's not in the Hall of Fame. And the thing is, like you said, he
even had the little earring.
Yeah, he had the earring with the
hoop. Yeah, the hoop, baby. Michael Jordan of baseball, man. Michael Jordan of baseball.
He even had the little earring like
with the
Jordan.
Cross. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like the way the former players talk about Barry Bonds, man. It's like he's the Michael Jordan of baseball. And for him not to be in the Hall of Fame, man, I just feel like that is just diabolical, man. Like, I don't understand it. And he's never been like proven to have, you know, like you said, he's never been proven that he took steroids.
He never.
It's just saying his name just came up in a report.
Yeah, never officially failed an MLB drug test.
And never officially failed the MLB drug test.
That's called.
And this guy's not in the Hall of Fame. One of the best to ever do it.
And I feel like this, bro. I feel like if you don't put these guys in, you're basically erasing history.
That's facts. Yep.
Because these guys all did something in their era for their team, for the game, for the sport. And it's like for future players who might, you know, little kids who's gonna be wanting to play baseball and wanting to be great and things like that, right? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna have that history to look up to, because they erasing that history. Basically, they're basically saying, yeah, it was good at the time, but now it's not.
Right.
And it's just like, come on, man. Like me personally, I wouldn't even mind if y'all put them in there and say that they did the steroids.
Right.
That's the point that y'all trying to make. You see what? At least,
like put them in and then just add in their little description. You know,
steroid use,
allegedly steroid use or whatever. But at least, you know, they would still be in, and then that way, anybody who may be wanting to, you know, follow in their footsteps to be great, at least they can know that, hey, man, look, they were some great players, but they did do this. Maybe this is look, I'm gonna do better. You know what I'm saying? But don't erase the history, because you got people like us that's gonna be talking to, and other people too that's gonna be talking to their children or to their grandchildren about some of the players that we used to love to watch and see and play. And then these kids gonna be like, who's that? Right. Because they're not in the Hall of Fame. They don't got nothing to, you know, look up to, or to go all they gonna see if they type in this person's name on Google, Chat GPT, whatever, all they're gonna see is steroid use. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the Major League Baseball gotta do something.
They got to
where these guys' history don't get erased.
They got to, man. Because the thing is, man, like I wouldn't, I'm with you, Dio. I wouldn't mind if all of them in the Hall of Fame. Because I mean, man, when you look at, you know, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds, you know, these names that you mentioned, man. I mean, what these guys did for the game of baseball and the MLB as a whole, man, these guys should be in the Hall of Fame, man. Like, I get it, you know, to steroids or whatever, but it's kind of like both of you guys said, like the steroids don't make you like become superhuman or nothing where you can like hit a baseball better or nothing like that. Like, you still have to put the work in to you know, hit the baseball. You still have to play on defense, you know, when it comes to catching baseballs and things like that. You still have to make those plays on the baseball field. So steroids, only thing that probably did was just made them hit the ball further. But besides that, I mean, they still had to put in the work and give the effort on the baseball field.
True enough.
And that's why I'm at with it.
That can't be replaced. Like I said, the task of just being able to hit the ball, that's literally, like I said, one of the hardest things in sports is to literally hit a baseball. And they said something else, but basically it's just the fact that doing that whole and there's so many players that of today, like Mookie Betts, he said in the
Yeah.
interview recently I was watching with Stacking him,
Mm-hmm.
like he literally said one of the hardest things is to hit a baseball. People think
Yeah.
that's easy, and then you hit, and then balls are going at faster speeds than it
That's
did back
true.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
So
you
it's
got
just
them
just like
balls
they
coming at 100 miles per hour, dog.
yeah. And the
102
pitch clock.
miles an hour. Yes, and
And
then a
the pitch
pitch
clock.
clock.
That
That
make it
makes it
even harder.
harder because you
Yeah.
ain't got no time in between. So you gotta throw it again. And it's actually harder for the batter to even watch the ball because it's coming like this.
And
You
then the
ain't even
ball not
really
just
able to.
coming straight. They got
No,
all
it's
kind of different
curving.
pitches that they throwing. They throwing
Yeah,
curve balls,
the
sliders,
change ups.
low ball towards the bottom of the plate.
Mm-hmm.
High pitch. The ball coming all over the place. So in order, you got to have that eye to ball coordination, like you said, to go ahead and even hit the ball.
That's
Fact.
hard, bro. That is hard. And
It,
like I said, it's still these balls are coming at different speeds, man. And these pitchers are pitching at faster speeds than they did back
that's a
then.
fact. That's a fact.
Man, so
That's a fact. Yeah. And I mean, like I said, man, these guys still had to hit the baseball and do the work. So it's kind of like I say, man, like you said, D.O., the MLB, man, they gotta do something about it. You can't erase
history, right?
and I feel like these guys need to be in the Hall of Fame, man. Like I'm sorry, man. Like Barry Bonds, man, come on, man. Like Barry
Right.
Bonds should be in the Hall of
Keeping
Fame.
some of the biggest names out of the Hall of Fame, man.
Right,
Like,
right.
you can't
Absolutely.
do that, bro.
You
I
can't.
mean, you can, but you gotta do something. You gotta do something to like make it happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta
Because
do
it's not
something.
all proven facts that these guys
Exactly.
did steroids. That's the thing that bothers me.
Exactly.
When you
That's
brought
the
out
thing.
the facts on all those guys, some of these guys they beat it, court acquitted, like that bothers me. That's like you said, that shows that it's more than stats. It's more than the individual player. These people that are voting for these players, I mean these Hall of Fame ballots, they are literally going off their personal perception. It is never,
I
it's
think
never
so.
about stats. And it's to the point where it's like with Belichick, they don't want to give him his credit on field. Like that's what the game is all about, even being in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
It's about the play in the baseball field. Like it ain't about how you feel about me and what my allegations is. And that's what bothers me when it comes to these voting ballots on the Hall of Fame in football, baseball, and all sports. They have their own personal perspective, and that kills the whole understanding of true sports and loving the sport. You know what I'm saying? Because, like you said, history gets erased, and kids that grow up, they'll never know about them until either, like you said, parents or just have to literally do the research. That sucks, man.
Yeah.
That's fact, man.
That sucks.
Man, wow, man. That was a powerful conversation, man. Like I say, man, I gotta agree with both of you guys, man. I just think these guys need to be in the Hall of Fame, man. You can't erase what these guys done on the baseball field, man.
Can't.
So yeah, man. D.O., man, I know you kind of, got a few things going
We
on.
good.
Man.
We
So,
good. We good. We
yeah, so
good. But I
we ain't
mean,
gonna
that's
hold
pretty
you up.
much all I got to say,
Yeah,
man,
that's pretty
about the
much all I
situation.
had, man. I just felt like we needed to have that conversation because it's a conversation that's always coming up, man. It's like the thing about it is, it's like y'all said, the history can't be erased because every year this conversation is coming up. And the thing that the MLB has to realize is that you can't erase this. Like every year when you vote for the Hall of Fame, this conversation is going to come up. It's going to continue coming up until you guys do something about it. So my thing is just let these guys get into the Hall of Fame and
test more. Like,
and test more.
If y'all can, like I said, like you said earlier, it's like, you know what I'm saying, y'all it's coming up all the time and this and that. But like we all kind of mentioned, when it was good, it was good. Y'all wasn't complaining. But now, it's a new era or whatever, and just test more if y'all wanna not, and then that way we don't have this problem of getting great players into the Hall of Fame, because now they're gonna know that, hey, they testing us. They testing us monthly, weekly, yearly, however they want to do it. But put more tests in place. That way these guys know the consequences. That hey, we're gonna get tested.
About to
You
say
know
they
what I'm
got this
saying?
one guy that plays for the Phillies, a reliever pitcher. He ended up getting suspended for PDEs. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So I see them kind of trying to crack down on it. I
Mm-hmm.
can't remember the guy name. Oh man, it's a black guy. A Dominican guy. He's a relieving pitcher, but he's really really good. And like I said, they ended up penalizing him for it because he was using PDEs. Now I get it. Okay, you're catching these guys and they're having outstanding seasons, and now you're trying to crack down on it. I get that, but like you said, don't hold it against the guys when y'all were allowing it. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference that bothers me. Because when
Yeah.
y'all were allowing it, and then now that a specific little I can't remember the name of the name of the name of
It's just move
the
on.
yeah the name of the dang, I'm sorry. The name of the company, I mean the writers that actually started to make it more public that
Mm-hmm.
basically that these athletes are using steroids, and then now the MLB wants to crack down on it behind that type of situation. It
Mm-hmm.
bothers me, like, because like you said, it just don't make sense when y'all were allowing it, when the income was coming in. It just,
It was all good.
yeah, it
And
was
bro,
good.
to be honest with you, like how we know they wouldn't how we know they wouldn't talk testing these guys back then and just keeping it under wraps.
That's
You know
true.
what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Because it was so good for the sport at the
Mm-hmm.
time with these guys slapping all these home runs and
Right.
Yeah,
bringing in all this money and this and that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because Major League Baseball ain't the one that's keeping them out. It's the people that's voting for them that's keeping
Right.
them
keeping
out.
them out. True.
That's true. That's a
And that's
fact.
a whole nother section of people.
Right.
You know
Right.
what
Right.
I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, we don't know what's going on in these on the meetings and with these commissioners and all of this. Who's to say they didn't know about it and just was like, you know what I'm saying? While it's good, we're gonna
Sweep it
get it while it's
rug.
good and then deal with it later when it
Ooh.
comes down the line later. Because
Mm-hmm.
until the Mitchell report came out, nobody
The
wouldn't talk
Mitchell
Fact.
about it.
report.
Nobody wasn't talking about that, man. Until that Mitchell report came out, nobody was talking about it,
And
man.
I'm
So
sure
And
they had way more of the players using steroids. And
right.
exactly.
they're probably
Absolutely.
in the Hall of Fame. Like Jeff
Absolutely.
Bagwell, all these other guys. Man,
Absolutely.
I'm sure they were using steroids, man. The game was
Absolutely.
it was at its peak level.
Right.
Them cats was hitting home runs. Like the ball was not even being seen. Like you just
That's a
saw where the
fact.
Exactly.
ball went. Like it just
Mm-hmm.
bothers me now that they want to crack down on specific players because, like I said, I feel like it's all personal perception. It ain't off of their stats
That's a fact.
inside the game.
And
Well,
just
then that's
think
the
about
thing.
it like this too. You know
They
what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
if you a teammate of any of these guys, right? And you
Mm-hmm.
see these guys doing great and doing all of this stuff, performing well, you
Mm-hmm.
don't think me as a teammate or as a competitor, you don't think I'm gonna go ask my teammate, hey man, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? How you practicing? You know what I'm saying? Like what's your routine
Right.
for you to be so great?
Yeah.
Now, if any of these guys say, "Oh man, I'm taking," you think any of these guys gonna tell a teammate, "Oh man, I'm taking steroids"? You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying?
Nah, say
Seriously.
They ain't gonna tell them that because you know what I'm saying. Then that can get leaked. You know what I'm saying, to the media or
that.
whatever. So these guys ain't gonna go and tell nobody that they taking the steroids, and that's why some of it is alleged. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's
Legend.
not even
Yeah.
been proven. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But I know at the end of the day, like if I see my teammate doing good,
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what he doing so I
So I
can
can
be
be
great.
better. Mm-hmm.
Right. Right.
You
Right.
know what
That's
I'm saying?
a fact.
And
That's
then, and even some of the trainers, like, even if the trainers was the ones or the doctors, whoever was the ones giving these guys the medicine, the steroids, whatever, to
mm-hmm.
perform, why would they only give it to just these players?
Right.
Who's to
Right.
say they didn't give it to these other players too? But just
Mm,
because they wasn't, and that goes back to you still have to perform,
that's
right?
true.
Because
Mm.
who's to say the trainers didn't give it to these other players?
Mm-hmm.
And they just wasn't doing what Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, and all these other guys was doing. So it
Mm-hmm.
comes back to the fact that even if they were taking it, you still got to go
Gotta
out there and
perform.
perform because I'm pretty sure it wasn't just them.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I like
And
that how you talked about
like I
that.
say, man, like y'all saying, it's like I know that these guys that's on the list weren't the only guys taking steroids in that era, man. And a lot of people say, especially like baseball fans, a lot of people say baseball was better when all the guys was on steroids, to be honest, because it was more exciting,
Yeah.
and because like y'all said, these guys was hitting these, home runs where I'm talking about, man, you wouldn't even see the ball after a while. Like as soon as it hit the air, like it like disappeared the clouds. Like
Real
so,
life.
yeah. So I mean, it's just like I feel like that was the golden era of baseball, and it's
It
kind of
was,
crazy.
bro.
They were on steroids, but allegedly. But man, I still feel like these guys need to be in the Hall of Fame at the end of the day, man. Like y'all said, performance wise, they actually had to go out there and perform, and they did what they, had to do on the field to accomplish those accomplishments, the stats, the home runs. Because like you said, D, it could have been a lot of other guys that was on steroids
They just
and
wasn't good.
they just wasn't good.
Exactly.
Because like you say, I'm with Barry Bonds and or let's say Sammy Sosa, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing to get better? Like, hitting these home runs and stuff like that, man. Like, what are you doing? Like, is it something that I can learn? I can figure out, because I want to be great too. I want to be able to hit home runs. I want to be able to do this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And who's to say? Like, like you say, he's not gonna say, well, yeah, bro, I'm shooting up or taking steroids. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna be like, man, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm training. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm gonna take, heed of what he's saying, and I'm gonna try to apply that to my game so I can get better. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think about Mark McGwire. Like right now, Mark McGwire is a hitting coach. I can't remember what team exactly, but Mark McGwire is actually a hitting coach in the MLB right now.
Yeah.
So I mean,
it comes back to performance.
right.
He's showing these current players, how to hit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And just passing on, his techniques and things he did when he was a player. So at the end of the day, man, let these guys get into the Hall of Fame. Even if they gotta sit out one more time just so people can get over their feelings or whatever.
Right.
But man, before it's all said and done, let these guys get into the Hall of Fame. Let these guys, give their speech. And even if, they did or not, right, that Hall of Fame speech could give them the chance to apologize to the fans, give them the chance to apologize to the game. If, somehow in their speech they, can be like, hey, man, how they get their speech and, they thank everybody who was a part of their journey and, all that good stuff. And then maybe they can, come and, say something like, hey, I understand I was a part of this report or whatever. And then they can speak their truth. You know what I'm saying? And let it be known that, it was alleged. I never did it. I went to court. I got acquitted. And then the guys that's already done admitted to it, that'll give them a chance on the biggest stage to apologize one more time.
That's true. That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
A-Rod, y'all didn't bring his name up, but Alex Rodriguez, a guy like A-Rod, man, A-Rod deserved to be in the Hall of Fame as well, man. I think
no, most definitely.
Yeah,
bruh,
so
New York Yankees wouldn't have been
who we was without him.
Exactly.
And Derek, man.
That's a fact. So I don't know, man. Hopefully these guys get in the Hall of Fame, man. But I enjoyed this conversation, man. Definitely was something that needed to be talked about, man.
Yeah, man.
Because like I say, every time the Hall of Fame conversation come up, this conversation continues to come up. So I feel like at some point the MLB has to let these guys get in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Be done with it, move on, because it's not gonna go nowhere. It's gonna keep coming up. So yeah. But that's all I got, man. You got anything, Dio?
I'm good. You got anything, A?
I'm good. Appreciate y'all coming up. Appreciate y'all having me on, though. Real talk.
Hey, man, we appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man.
Brother. Yeah, man. Well, that's it, man. Hey, what you got, D? What this is, episode 9?
Episode 9, baby. Talk how we talk. Y'all know how we do.
Yeah,
know how we do, man. Y'all make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel. Get the views up. Share it. You know what I'm saying? We trying to we trying to get some the audio version for y'all. That's something we still working on. So y'all be looking for that too. Y'all be looking for that to come. You know what I'm saying? We trying to get on like, you know, some of these audio only podcast things, you know what I'm saying? Spotify, Apple, and all those guys. We trying to still get into that. So, you know, eventually we're gonna branch off into that. But for now, like and subscribe to the channel, get our views up, get our subscriber count up. You know what I'm saying? We definitely trying to reach some goals of ours, you know, with YouTube and some of the stats that we need to be able to hit. You know, to get the channel where it's supposed to be, man. But we appreciate everybody that watches. We appreciate everybody that signs up. You know, just share it with a friend. That's all we asking. Turn on the notifications. That way y'all can know when we do drop the episodes. And, you know, y'all can become part of the family. You know what I'm saying? It's on, you know, we ain't no analysts. Like I say all the time, it's just, you know, two Louisiana boys. Hey, you from Louisiana?
Hey, from Louisiana.
Man, now it's three Louisiana boys talking sports, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, we want more of our Louisianians to join in, you know, anybody from around the United States, man, Texans, Mississippians, Georgians, whatever y'all call y'all, Floridians, whatever, man, y'all tune in, y'all tap in, bro. Because, you know, we're talking about all teams, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, everybody can relate, you know what I'm saying?
Also, too, D, man, we're gonna get out of here, but also too, I kind of been thinking about maybe trying to figure out if we can also start live streaming, man, and start letting people tap in with us live. You know what I'm saying?
Ask questions.
We answer questions.
Yep.
You know, that's another thing too, along with the audio version of the podcast, man. So man, make sure y'all like and subscribe, man.
Like and subscribe, man. Talk how we talk, baby. Episode 9. Y'all have a good rest of y'all night, rest of y'all evening, morning, wherever y'all tuning in from.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah,
we
appreciate
out,
you
man.
stopping by. Hey, man, D.O., appreciate you, brother.
Yep.
We out, man.
We out, y'all.
Yes, sir.